Hi, this is Irishtwist, Patty. I hope everybody's doing well. This video is going to be talking all about yarn, knitting, crocheting, really anything to do with yarn. It's something that I love, and wanted to share with you some whips, which is works in progress that I'm working on, but also things that I've completed. Uh, this is a sweater that I made, and I'm really, really proud of it. It's 100% merino wool, um, and it's like a fingering weight yarn. I don't know if you can kind of see. It's a fingering weight, and it's stockinette stitch with all knit here and purl here. Um, and I did a little bit of garter stitch, which is all purl on the bottom, so, right before the border, so to prevent it from curling. Because in the stockinette stitch, if you really don't do that, it can tend to curl. So um, I'm very proud of it because it really is the first sweater that I've really I consider successful, and I wore it out today with being really proud of it. Even though it's it gets a little hot during the day, I said, you know what, it's very lightweight. It was here in where I live, it was in the 60s in the morning. I said, perfect, I'm going to wear it. And I just put on this crochet border just for fun. It was kind of an afterthought when I made it, and there I go. So, yeah, I'm proud of it. Now, besides not being able to share with a colorway, and because they discontinued it, unfortunately, I don't have a pattern for it either. Because I actually made this without a pattern. A lot of people ask me how. I kind of look back and I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I mean, I know how I made it, but how I figured it out, I just kind of had it in my head of how I'm going to do it, and I saw like tons of videos and other patterns of how to stitch it together. But I said, if I make a swatch and measure how many stitches are in 2 inches, and I need a certain length for my body, then I do the math of approximately how many I would cast on, because that's the whole trick, is getting enough to cast on, because that's going to be your width of the project. And then as I was knitting, I fitted around me to see, like, yeah, is it gonna sit right and so forth. How does it feel? How's the neck? Things like that. Used my own body as a template, I guess you would call it. And it worked. So I would say it took me about a month to do. Um, that's just thinking about it afterwards. I had an enormous amount of fun doing it. There's a lot of stitches here. If someone had like a more bulky yarn, same amount of stitches would go a long way. But I immensely enjoyed this. Um, so I also completed a hat. This was Karen Cakes. This is 100% acrylic. This is 100% washable, which is great because as you go in the winter elements, snow and wetness and whatnot, this could be washed and dried. I would say gentle, delicate cycle in the washing machine, and then you can dry it as well. And I made this pom-pom. So this is a Karen Cake Mandala, Mandala yarn. Found it at Walmart. And I saw that Michael's sells it online, and Joann's definitely online, occasionally in the store. So as I'm in the stores, I look for it to see where it's available, but definitely online. But this I found in the Walmart store, and it had all these colors in the skein. It came in a cake, hence the name Karen Cake. um, and it came with the white, the grays, and the darker grays, and the black. My cake was spun in this color, so I actually didn't have to adjust the colors. But you can adjust the colors, for your need, But I ended up doing pearl, knit one, purl one ribbing. So I'll show you that, knit one, purl one ribbing. And I did it long enough so that I could just make a little brim. And then the basket weave, which is all knit, knit 3 for 3 rows, purl 3 for 3 rows, and I alternated it to make the basket weave. Kind of makes it textured and a little more bulky. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like on. Now the pom-pom is kind of fun. I made that and sewed it on. What I did is I used a pom-pom maker. And this is probably the first or second time I've actually used this. I've had this for quite a while. It's a Clover pom-pom maker, and it's really fun, and even kids could do it. I actually found a YouTube video on how to use this, but they do have directions with it and so forth. Now, technically this pom-pom may be a little oversized for this hat, but I love it. And there's really 2 reasons why I picked this. One, because I had this already, and this particular size makes this size pom-pom. So that's probably the main reason. But number 2 is that I really found it kind of fun to have a big pom-pom. If I really didn't like it, I would get the smaller size and make, a size that I wanted. But I like it oversized. I think it's cute. So they do make these in smaller. You can make medium pom-poms, small ones, with other size pom-pom makers. But it's cute. They show you where you open it up, and by all means, this is not a tutorial on the pom-pom maker because I'm not making a pom-pom right now. But in general, it opens up. The other side opens up as well. They have you wrap the yarn over both of these like this, and wrap it and wrap it and wrap it until all the blue disappears and you have all this yarn on it. And the same thing over here. And then they have this nice little edge here, which you can snip with a scissor. Put the scissor in there, and it kind of opens it up, makes it look like this. And then you tie it to secure it. So I couldn't believe how easy it was. Again, a child could even do it. And then I just sewed it from the inside into the hat. So really soft, really warm, and proud of it. So I didn't have a pattern for this. There are tons of patterns out there that are for hats, but if anybody's interested, I could answer any questions of how I did maybe the basket weave stitch, or how I did the ribbing. In terms of determining the size, I mean, usually it's like a 22-inch hat. You want to make it so that it can go around your head, but the usual adult head is like 22, 23 inches circumference. And as I was knitting it, I just kind of fitted around my head and said, that's comfortable. Now this is technically just a little oversized for me. I'll just show you. See, it's a little loose, but I was okay with that because I really wanted it to cover my ears, and it's going to stay there. It's not going to come off or anything, but it's really going to come and cover my ears for when, winter and everything, block wind. So I really like that. So, yeah, and I am making a scarf. I found this yarn. Now, I'm sorry, they discontinued this colorway. What can I say? I'm sharing you these projects that I'm doing, and the yarn isn't available anymore. But I did search recently, in fact yesterday, about this yarn, and it's discontinued. But it's a Louisa Harding. It's a 3 light, which I think is like a 2 weight, but they're saying 3 weight. Either case, and the colors just scream fall to me. You got some yellows, some browns, grays, purples, yellows, and I said, you know what? I'm just yesterday I started this and said I'm gonna make a scarf, just a decorative scarf, not a winter scarf, just for fun, really. And I said, you know, I'll make it so that it's kind of big so that I can loop it around just one time around, and just wear it with some clothes that kind of match it, and it just seems like fall to me, and it does give you a little bit of warmth too, But mostly I love the colorway. I'll show you. It does have like these purples in it, greens, yellows, browns, oranges, and the little bit of a curl just happened because you have some stockinette there. So what I'm doing for this pattern, for those who knit, would appreciate this. I'm doing 2 rows of knit. Okay, knit is like this, knit, versus pearl, which looks more textured. I'm doing 2 rows of knit and then 1 row of seed stitch, which means knit, pearl alternately through the row. Knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl, and so forth. So it's 2 rows of stockinette, meaning knit on one side. So 2 rows of stockinette, 1 row of seed. 2 rows of stockinette, 1 row of seed. So when this row of seed comes along, I actually alternate. How do I explain this? So if the seed starts with knit, pearl, it starts with knit. The next time I do a seed after 2 rows of stockinette, I do a pearl. So it's alternating as well. And what that's creating is this pretty cool pattern, where it's kind of textured looking. It has that stockinette going on here, which I really love, but it has this repeated pattern of texture, which is your rows of seed stitch, or your pearls. It is a one-sided pattern, which means that the other side not so good looking, but that's mostly the other side, mostly pearls and some stockinette, but this is the right side. So in general, there's a right side of the project and a wrong side of the project, but I'm going to make it so that it's long enough to go around. Oh, the nice thing about the basket weave stitch, that's the one with the 3 pearls and 3 knits, and you're alternating, making that basket weave look, is that it is reversible. You can see, meaning both sides that have the same pattern, and you have your knit and your pearl, so you have that basket weave going on. So that's kind of interesting tidbit, that the basket weave stitch has both, and also the knit pearl, knit 1 pearl 1 ribbing is also the same on both sides, which is why I can flip it up and make that ribbing look really nice. So yeah, but I really like this. Let me know in the comments if you want, see if you like this, or it's not really a thing. It's not a common thing that I get a colorway that has browns in it. I don't know. I kind of go for the more either neutral colors, or even like some bright colors too, which I know is the complete opposite. But in terms of browns and stuff, for some reason I'm steering away from. But something just said get it, when I found it in the store, and I had it in my stash in my closet for quite a long time, which is probably why it's discontinued now. And I saw it there, I knew I had it, and I said, you know what, something's just telling me now I'm picturing a scarf. So I'm proud of this, and it's very lightweight, and I could wear it with some clothes. So yeah, it's a nice project, and in progress, and then I'm making another sweater, because I'm challenging myself at sweaters, and I think it's fun. This I can actually share with you what yarn it is, because this one is not discontinued. So that's a good thing. This is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek from Hobby Lobby. So this is a low-pilled fiber. This colorway is called Purple/Gray Multi 908. And, you know, because this yarn, same yarn comes in many different colors. This uses a 5mm knitting needle, USA size 8, or a 6mm crochet hook, size J10 in the USA. It's a 4 medium weight, so that's a 4, and it's very, very soft. What I'm doing with it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but there are some purples in here. See if I can capture that. The purple. It looks mostly gray. There is gray and white, and a little hint of purple, like lavender. There we go, in there as well. So what I'm doing is I am knitting a sweater. This is the ribbing. It's a purl one, knit one ribbing. And this is the stockinette stitch, which is what this is, all knit on one side, purl on the other. And what I'm doing is just knitting it straight through. So it's good that I can show you, if you're interested in this colorway, you could see how it's worked up with knit. So this striping, like this, again, kind of hard to tell on the camera. It's almost looking like black and white, but I assure you it does have some purple colorways in there as well. Some there we go, some purple in there as well. Is self striping. So this is a nice variegated yarn, and it's self striping actually pretty well. So I'm not adjusting any of the colors. And I'm just seeing how it's coming out, and I'm really liking it, you know. So yeah, it's a very nice colorway, I think, and it's a good everyday sweater. So I'll see how it comes out, but I'm pretty confident that I can do it. And you know, as hard as you work on your project, the good thing about yarn is, for the most part, you can take it out if something doesn't seem right or whatnot. So that's why I love doing it too, and learning it, you know, because you can always adjust it. But yeah, so we'll see, keep you posted about that, how that's coming along. This is a lot of fun, but just wanted to share that with you guys. And another thing I found actually at Walmart, they have this is not yarn, but this is like crafting stuff. I found this kitty cat. I love cats. I have 2 cats of my own. Fabric. They're quarters. And they just have tons and tons of kittens on them. Tons and tons of cats. These are the same, but I wanted to show you both of them. But what I'm going to do with it, I'm not really sure yet, but I just loved it. And the way that my mind works, it just comes up with an idea. I'm not very familiar with sewing, but I do enjoy it, and I have made like pillows in the past. I think what I'll do is I'll make a big pillow out of this, and just like a pillow cover. I'll get like a pillow form either at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and then just make a pillow cover so this way it can be washed. So that would be fun, you know. Yeah. So one thing I've certainly learned by doing projects is when you're stitching, whether you're stitching with yarn to have things closed, or you're stitching little stitches for your fabric, is you want to do it from the opposite side, because you don't want to see those stitches. I say that because that was my first mistake when I did my very first sweater. You could see the the part where you stitched it up, where because it sandwiches together. So you always want to turn your project inside out, and then go ahead and suture those pieces together. Like for instance, if you have a sweater, you're going to have a front, a back, and two sleeves. So you're going to take those and reverse it, and then go ahead and take the yarn needle with the yarn, the tapestry needle, and do those stitches so that you can make a seam that you can barely see. And the seam, I'm proud of that because I'm kind of new with that. But you can make a seam that you can barely see because it's in the inside. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. For those that are new with knitting, crocheting, knitting in the creating world. So you're in a better standpoint than I was. But again, you learn, and that's what I love most about it, is the creativity, and mostly the creativity, but also the learning new things about it. Challenging myself to again make sweaters and things. And I just love trying to make these videos because it's a way for me to express, my passion and what I love and how I've completed some things, but also to try to help somebody else out. So if you like these videos, just consider liking this video, subscribing to me, and I will keep you posted. I will talk to you soon, and have a great day. Bye.